stretch your hip flexors. Most of the time, most things can be avoided in training related tweaks if your hip flexors were more stretched, okay? So stretch your hip flexors. The easiest way to stretch your hip flexors every time after sitting, ideally, I think the research says like every 20 minutes you should change your posture. Stand up, very easy. It's even incognito, we would say. So this is a camouflage stretch. You stand up, squeeze your butt as hard as possible, take your thumbs, reach them back. One of those. You do it naturally already. So this is just a way that you can add it into your day. So again, if I squeeze my butt really hard here, that means my hip flexors have to disengage and they have to release. And also your glutes are less active. So by squeezing your butt, reaching your thumbs way back here, everything that was just happening in my body is just the opposite is happening now, right? Okay, now, so that's number one. All the time, just add one of these. You're pumping gas, you get up out of your chair, do that. Now, for more specific hip flexor stretching, the one thing that I have everybody do every single session that they work with me is a glute bridge. More specifically, this is a back safe glute bridge, okay? So, take a yoga block or a pair of shoes. It doesn't matter. Literally anything that you can put between your knees. Your feet are going to be flat and together. So my feet are together. I'm going to squeeze this yoga block like crazy between my knees. My palms are going to be up. I'm going to sniff some air into my lower abdomen. And then I'm going to bridge up as high as possible. Hold for 3 and then back down, right? You're probably saying to yourself, this is for glute activation. We already discussed, if the glutes are squeezing, the hip flexors are disengaged and you're stretching them out, okay? So I have everybody that I work with, at least for the first few months, they're tight, we do that. So that's number one. Number two, my second favorite, is gonna be a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So kneeling hip flexor stretch, it's as simple as it could be. You just get into a lunge position here, and guess what? Squeeze your butt cheeks as hard as you can, more specifically the down knee, and then I'm just gonna push my hips forward. Most people, when they do this. Nothing's going on here when I do this. I'm just taking a knee, right? So here, if I squeeze my butt hard and then push my hips forward, notice I'm only going this far, not very far. I'm getting an insane stretch in the front of my hip here, right? And then just like in my video I did the other day, talking about the split squat here, the same action is happening. I'm getting a length through my hip flexor there and then activating. So it's similar here. You don't have to go that far though. You can just do this. This right here, I'm getting a hip flexor stretch just by squeezing and pushing forward a little bit, okay? That's number two. My third favorite is the, I don't even know what this is called. It involves the rectus femoris though. So this one's a one that I've had to do for PT. So it stretches out the quad. It adds that in there as well. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna lay on a roller. You could also do this off of a bed. You just leave like your tailbone hanging off, and I pull my leg up and then I let it hang, right? I'm tight, so my flexible persons would probably touch the floor, but mine just hangs here, and I'm just gonna relax and just let it hang there, right? And again, I could be on a bed right now or a couch somewhere. You don't want your foot to hit, so just make sure that you're doing it to where the foot doesn't make contact. Now within this, we can also add in a couch stretch, right? I typically don't have very many people do the couch stretch because I find that it can be a bit too much on people's quad actually. I used to have everybody couch stretch all the time. So during and immediately post training, I don't have people do it. This though, I mean, you know, it's called the couch stretch because you can do it that way, or you could do it this way. Like imagine this was a couch, right? I find it's a little bit too much on people's quad close to training. So that's something that you could do at home. But again, for some people though, myself included, it's a bit too much on my rectus femoris. So I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that stretch. And again, that's kind of a personal preference. I find I get plenty out of the other variations. So no matter what, this variation right here is going to be the best one for most people all the time.